Which investors do you guys have currently in Superpower?
It was this YouTuber and content creator, Logan Paul.
Logan Paul? Like the Logan Paul?
Yeah.
This is Jacob, and he runs Superpower. Superpower just raised $30 million to revolutionize and democratize human healthcare. Now they're leveraging technology to change the way people understand and visualize their health with hundreds of data points on the body by building tailored protocols for each individual. Genuinely, what Jacob is doing is nothing short of the future, and we're gonna spend a day with him and learn all about Superpower.
I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power.
All right, everybody, we made it. We're in LA. We're right outside Jacob's house. We're gonna say what's up and start our day with him.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, bro? This is Jacob. We've actually known each other for a couple of years, and now he has Superpower, a really cool startup. We're gonna talk about all of that and more, but first, dude, this is a beautiful, beautiful home. Can we get a quick tour?
Let's do the tour.
Yeah.
This is my getaway house.
So most of us don't have getaway houses, and then the ones that do don't look like this. Where do we start? The lap pool.
You can do about 1/10 of a lap.
Should I get some laps in right now?
You won't?
No, not right now.
Cold plunge.
Woo.
Hace frío.
Oh my God.
200-degree sauna.
What? Wait, so we have a pool, a hot tub, a cold plunge, and a sauna, and then
and an ocean.
And an ocean. What a getaway home. His backyard is literally the ocean. So you said you split your time between.
So I split
SF.
time between SF and LA. San Francisco is unequivocally the best place to build a technology company.
That's true.
Best place to aggregate talent, aggregate capital, and accumulate learnings to be a better entrepreneur. With a business like ours, LA is magical because it is the epicenter of content, creators, culture, community, celebrity, entertainment,
and also
media, health. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, and that really matters for our company. So we're sitting at this beautiful intersection of both worlds, technology and health and media and entertainment.
It's really interesting to see how when building a company, different cities actually serve different purposes. While we're in LA today with Jacob as he meets potential partners and some LA-based investors, Jacob is actually spending about 90% of his time in SF as he and the team are deep in product building mode.
So one thing I haven't described yet, but Jacob is like a health nut to a whole new level. Anything you could possibly do for your health, Jacob either has it here or does it regularly somewhere. And one of them is jumping up and down on a trampoline.
It's called rebounding. It's good for lymphatic drainage, getting your circulatory system up and running, and it's fun.
I can't remember the last time I jumped on a trampoline. It actually feels quite nice.
This is overly simplistic, but it basically helps your body detoxify and move nutrients and things around.
Oh, very interesting. So I'm actually really curious because I'm sure there's a lot of data and testing behind everything that has lasted in your morning routine. So why don't you walk us through it and explain us like the benefits and so on.
The belief is that if you can superpower your health and get your health foundation right, you can superpower your life. It's the pregame, it's the warm-up.
Okay,
So, let's see.
Pregame.
Little tea tree oil for the eyelids, magnesium-based deodorant, fragrance-free, no phthalates, shaving cream, silk-based dental floss to keep the gums happy, tongue scraper to remove any microbial buildup, fluoride-free toothpaste, hydroxy nanoapatite, much better for you than what might be typically found in the American toothpaste cabinet. Tretinoin cream, that's actually something I use before bed. And then this one, which is GHKCU, it's a copper peptide. It's important for improving the amount of collagen in your skin, reducing wrinkles, and then a little bit of vitamin C.
Let me tell you what my morning routine is, and then you can kind of evaluate it. Okay, so I get up, I brush my teeth, I put water through my hair, and then I head out of the house. How'd I do?
You're missing a few steps.
Okay, what would you add? What would you add to that?
If I had to pick one thing, it would be the tongue scraper.
You have a ton of bottles of supplements. How many supplements do you think you take every day?
On a daily basis, at least 20 to 25.
20 to 25.
I actually have a gene mutation, which probably close to 40% of the US population has, called MTHFR, which impairs your body's ability to methylate, or to put it really simply, absorb B vitamins and process toxins.
A large chunk of the population is just sitting with deficiencies and they don't even know it.
No idea.
And so,
from the day they were born.
How does somebody figure that out?
Well, I might know health testing.
Oh guys, let me tell you about a little something called Superpower here.
These resale for close to $2,000. Only a few hundred in existence, and the last 25 are about right here.
So these are health optimized hoodies.
Health optimized.
What does that mean exactly? Like no...
So we call it the world's healthiest hoodie. And it veritably is, because it uses 91% less water than traditional cotton manufacturing. It has 0% toxins. Even the ink is algae-based screen printing.
Really?
I don't know if you do this, but most dyes are very toxic.
Yeah.
This is the opposite.
What do you typically have for breakfast every morning?
I'll start off with a smoothie. Strawberries, berries, high in nutrients, high in fiber. Typically put in a little bit of olive oil, creatine, collagen peptides, plant protein, and we try to make sure there's no bad additives.
What's an example of a bad additive?
We have a Superpower banned list, 500 ingredients that you should never consume.
When's the last time you've consumed one of the 500?
On record, never.
There's a popular video of you online bringing olive oil to a restaurant. Oh, it was a beef tallow. Okay.
I got canceled for this video. The ones that are fried, what type of oil do you use?
That's fried. We use soybean oil.
Okay, would you be able to use our beef tallow that we brought instead?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. It went really viral on the news station that posted it. People were hating on me, saying I'm like the worst thing ever to come to restaurants.
Ah, there it is, the beautiful blue Porsche. Are you gonna take us for a ride in it?
If you're lucky.
If we're lucky. No, but actually, Jacob, I really want to ride it, dude. This thing is beautiful.
So anyway, here's the hyperbaric.
Wait, what?
So I'm currently trying to get 60 sessions in the hyperbaric machine.
What is a hyperbaric chamber? What does this thing do? This thing looks like straight out of NASA or SpaceX.
Yeah, so it increases the amount of pressure that you're exposed to and pumps in 100% oxygen content. And what that does is it hyperoxygenates your blood in your bodily tissues and cells, which is really good for things like mitochondrial healing, improving your microbiome, lengthening your telomeres. It's probably one of the most needle-moving longevity treatments we have as an industry and scientific community at the moment.
How much does this thing cost?
Sticker price, this retails for close to $75,000.
After showing us the hyperbaric chamber, Jacob had to step away to a couple of investor calls. Now, Superpower is super special as a company because it has a lot of really passionate investors. Many of them are celebrities or creators, and some of them you may or may not have heard of.
How was your investor call?
It was good. We were brainstorming some viral content that we're going to shoot later this year.
Which investors do you guys have currently in Superpower?
It was this YouTuber and content creator, Logan Paul.
Logan Paul? Like the Logan Paul?
Yeah.
Also, I love how he just says like this YouTuber. You may have heard of him, Logan Paul. Yeah, we've heard of Logan Paul. We really live in two completely different worlds. I know him as a content creator. You're dealing with him as an investor. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool having him as a business partner and thought partner.
All right, we're gonna do a quick little workout. Then we're gonna do a little cold plunge and then sauna.
Start this off with a high intensity interval training, punching bag.
All right.
Hitting sessions.
She got superpowers, that pussy got power.
Can you keep up that same pace?
I don't know if I've ever done a punching bag.
Lady in
How
the
do I look, girl?
streets,
Look
turn to a hoe to me. She can be that hoe you wanna be, but she don't hoe for free. Wet, I hope I don't drown. Sex, I can hear them sound. Neck, fuck it, pin you down. Swear that pussy got superpowers.
So tell me a little bit, what is Superpower? And you have a really interesting story as to like why it started.
It's the ultimate platform to take control of your health. So today, managing your health is super hard. Only 8% of Americans even get their annual physical. So most of us have zero idea what's actually happening inside our bodies. And the journey starts with getting full context on you. So we send a nurse to your house, or you can send you to a local lab. We test about 10 times more blood labs than a traditional annual physical. And if you have a little bit more budget, you can add on things like gut microbiome testing, genetics, toxins, which are really popular.
And so the idea is like you collect as much data about somebody to then create a really specific and well-tailored health protocol.
Exactly, health protocol and roadmaps. You know exactly what to do to live longer, feel your best, to solve any acute issues you might have, or even like prevent problems that you might not even be aware of that are brewing beneath the surface. I think there's a cultural zeitgeist change where prior we would treat it as like acceptable to get old. We thought it was normal, and we'd see aging parents, aging grandparents, people with health challenges. You know, death and disease were just sort of commonplace and never questioned. But now that we have the technology to start to change some of that, people are waking up and realizing like planning health is something that can be optional.
Up until now, we've mainly talked about the happy side of Superpower. But there's a harder story behind why Jacob had to start it in the first place. Founder journeys can start all kinds of different ways, but for Jacob, Superpower actually started in a hospital bed.
One of the things that I think is so poetic about building this business is that like you kind of built it for yourself first. From what I remember, you like worked so hard, you basically worked yourself into the ground, and that's what sprouted Superpower. What happened there?
So I made the mistake that all too many, I think, entrepreneurial and ambitious people often do, which is put the pursuit ahead of the health foundation. And if you're not as educated on what it takes to be an optimally healthy human, it's hard to know that you could potentially be doing all the wrong things. You think you're noble for sacrificing sleep for the cause, but in reality, your health and your cells is the thing that's taking the real sacrifice on. So in my case, in the summer of 2021, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder called Crohn's disease, which is when your immune system attacks your stomach, your own organs, probably caused by, again, like years of not sleeping properly, a bit of the right perfect storm of genetics, environmental triggers, and I was hospitalized for many months. stuck with lots of surgeries, a multi-million-dollar medical bill, and you realize really quickly that like no one is coming to save you if things get to that point, because healthcare incentives are such that if you have a problem, they're going to give you the treatment options that make them the most money, or keep them sticking to the legal and safe protocol, which is pharmaceuticals or surgical options.
Right.
And in my case, that was a big lucrative billing opportunity for the health system, instead of prescribing better sleep, diet, nutrition,
Right.
exercise, environmental optimization, removing the high toxin load that was in my body, calibrating my central nervous system.
So it's kind of like the difference between being reactive, surgery, pharmaceuticals, or proactive.
Totally. It's like going in, you know, to a mechanic and getting an annual checkup for your car versus waiting until the thing breaks down on the side of it.
And you get stuck with a huge bill.
Exactly.
Maybe like you have to buy a new car, although you can't buy a new car in this analogy.
Exactly. You only get one body.
Many of you watching this right now probably want to start your own company or just build a lot of value for yourself. And many of us are probably willing to work ourselves into the ground in order to make that happen. But at the end of the day, our bodies have a duty over us and we have a responsibility to it. And I think Jacob's story is just a prime example of that.
All right, shall we continue?
Okay.
We're sitting on top of the cold plunge here. I'm such a wuss when it comes to cold plunges.
Can you do 6 minutes?
I can do it for the camera, but I'm gonna be yelling and
You do 6 seconds.
oh, it's already so cold. Oh, holy. Oh,
You gotta dunk that head.
You gotta dunk with that.
holy crap. That is so much colder than I thought.
Dunk the head.
Give me a oh, wait, give me a second. That's way too cold, bro. Oh my god.
All right, there's your 6 seconds.
Ah, that's embarrassing. I'm sorry, guys. God, that is so much colder than it looked. That's not 40 degrees, dude. Or maybe 40 degrees is a lot colder than I thought it was.
You switch like a pussy little bitch.
Let's go.
The
A
head.
little longer than Osama.
Excuse me, guys, I'm gonna go to the hot tub. Tell me about the first couple of months starting Superpower. So how do you gain buy-in for something like this? Talk about like the cult-like following that Superpower has, the 150,000 people on Superpower's waitlist. From where you guys started to today, what were the struggles? What were the key moments?
150,000 people on the wait list, 2 tattoos in the community.
Right, that's like true cult-like following.
It's a pretty good one. So the business was born out of the healing journey. So after I got out of the hospital, I ended up getting connected to a handful of these high-end concierge physicians. You know, people that charge, call it 50 to 250K a year for access to their clinics.
Yeah.
And when you can become a patient in these practices, they test everything in your body. So they'll leave no stone unturned. They'll spend 6 hours with you on a whiteboard connecting the dots across every little thing in your health. Were you born C-section or vaginally, because that impacts your microbiome from the moment you're born.
Really?
To did you have Epstein-Barr virus or mono, you know, the kissing disease?
Yeah.
I know you probably had it.
No, dude.
Because it literally lives in your immune system and spinal cord for life. Viruses integrate with our DNA. So all these things, you know, can impact the current state and status of our health. We try to understand how your grandparents died and where your family histories might lie. And all that information, when you go to these clinics, is used as far as your protocol goes. That is the gold standard of medicine. So the mission of our business is to democratize that and close the gap between healthcare that exists for the best and healthcare for the rest, so that everyone can take control and agency over their health and never get stuck with, you know, the terrible, I guess, like acceptance that we have right now with death and disease.
We spent the morning with Jacob following his extensive health routine, but by the afternoon, it was time to get to some exciting partnership meetings up in Beverly Hills, so we hit the road.
So Jacob, as a busy founder, how many texts do you think you get a day?
Hundreds, 200 plus. I have 81 unreads, 79 unreads just from the last like 12 hours. And let's see how many slacks. 31 slack pings.
31 Slack pings this morning?
Don't envy me.
If I got 31 Slack pings in a morning, I'd have a heart attack.
In LA without being an Erewhon.
exactly.
I'm actually an Erewhon member.
Are there Erewhon memberships?
There are Erewhon memberships. Proud Erewhon member.
Really? I didn't know that. So we're actually here in Erewhon because Jacob is meeting an advisor / investor into the business here. I didn't know people met at Erewhon like that. It's probably a good place to meet, right?
I'm a cat, I'ma take out them pussy right now.
We gotta move on.
2 hours later.
Give us a quick recap. So they had a couple of important calls and meetings.
We had a nice lunch with and then we just came into Aloe, the headquarters here, to close a big partnership deal for Superpower.
Ollie's a good friend with the CEO. We got hooked up with all the goodies.
Yeah.
Nice. So what exactly is the goal? These are partnerships to help Superpower grow exactly. What's the ultimate goal?
So we want to be one of the biggest health brands in the world. One of the ways to do that is to build relationships with brands that already have a lot of trust and a lot of aligned customers. We couldn't think of anyone better than Aloe.
Yeah.
Okay, so walk me through today. what are the biggest priorities for Superpower?
So the way I think about business building is you have to iteratively remove the biggest constraints. Up until now, the largest challenge with the business was that our ambitions had eclipsed our ability to actually build what we wanted to build. That has been solved. We recently raised a $30 million Series A, so capital is no longer as much of a constraint. And the newest constraint is talent and growth. So we are looking to bring in the best teammates that we can, and we've already set a really high standard, which actually, interestingly, makes it really hard to recruit. So we have about 13 former venture-backed founders, which is important because we all wear the scars and we know what it takes, and everyone comes with quite a lot of skills and an inordinate amount of hustle. Growth secondarily becomes the biggest focus once we get the right team. So we want to be a $100 million revenue company within the next 24 months.
What do you suspect is going to be the biggest constraint after talent and that growth piece?
Well, growth is hard, right? Like getting customers to trust you, they're hard-earned, especially in a category like ours where we are trying to become their lifelong health partner, which is the objective of the platform. The constraint becomes how well and effectively can we market, position the product, choose the right growth channels that are going to be most resonant with our audience, which is right now a cluster of about 2 types of consumers.
What would you say your time today is most
So
expensive?
as a CEO, I think about my job in 3 main pillars. So one is accumulating talent, almost sales, right? So that's selling vision and evangelizing it, talent to join the mission and be a part of what we're doing. And we need the world's best people because the mission demands it. It's helping sell business deals either to large creators, partners, businesses. Number 2 is making sure that we don't run out of capital. So keeping an eye on the balance sheet, helping manage and create stakeholder and capital partner relationships. And then thirdly is effectively setting the direction, steering the ship, and making sure that we are allocating capital appropriately. The strategy is sound. Everybody is operating at peak efficiency, and we're getting the most out of all of our dollars.
Okay, so for someone who's starting out like myself, how do you typically think about when to start a company, what problem to solve? Just what's your mental model when it comes to starting from scratch?
So 4 things. One is you're never really ready. You just have to absolutely jump in the deep end and figure it out. When I was 21 and a half before I started my first company, I was thinking about leaving my first job and interviewing at this firm, 2 Sigma. And I get to the final round of the interview and they ask me, what's your 5-year goal? And I'm like, I want to start a company. And he looks me dead in the eyes and goes, then why don't you just start right now? You're never really ready. And I was like, fuck, you're right. And I left the interview before I even know if I got the offer, and I quit and started the company.
Wow, and this was ComSir?
Yes, my first business.
Oh,
so
snap.
Lesson number 1, you're never really ready. You just gotta take the plunge. Number 2 is figure out where you have a deep circle of competence or an unfair advantage. And I really do think that like almost everyone has something that they're just like uniquely 0.1% best at, especially if you chain together 4 or 5 different skills or sets of experiences. You might only be like the top 50% of sales or the top 25% of digital marketing or this, that, but as soon as you chain together like 8 of these different skills, you might be the best digital community builder that also knows how to use Figma, that also knows a lot about biology, that also knows a lot about XYZ, and like, boom, now you are like the 0.01% of a particular domain or skill set. And if you can niche down, you'll find something that gives you an unfair advantage because you want to stack as many unfair advantages as possible. Number 3 is tell everyone what you're doing. And maximize serendipity.
This is interesting because a lot of people think that in order to successfully start something, you have to be really stealthy about it and not tell people.
If I think back to the first company I started, I met my original co-founder of ComSor because I was telling everyone that I wanted to start a business. And one of my friends, who was his sister, she goes, oh, my brother's into startups. You guys should meet. And that became the serendipitous connection which catalyzed the first.
Wow.
And people, they want to help you. Like, I think they get inspired hearing about people's dreams, and I think the industry of Silicon Valley, the tech world, the business world really does run on a lot of goodwill if you let it.
Yeah.
And if you feel like the universe is conspiring in your favor, it might just start. Number 4, accumulate a ridiculous level of limitless self-belief. Self-belief actually has to be limitless.
Yeah.
Because building a company is a Herculean task. It's so hard. It's really, really hard. And the only way I think you get through the darkest days and you can birth something amazing into the world that sustains and endures is if your level of self-belief is so high such that it trumps any of the bad days or the hardest moments.
Wow.
And that's a hard thing to, I think, do. And I'm still learning how to maximize and increase my level of self-belief daily, but I don't think I would have started my original company or started a second company or a third company if I didn't have a lot of inner self-belief. And if you don't feel like you have that, well, guess what? Every moment's a new moment.
Yeah.
You can decide that my identity is one in which I believe in myself.
Dude, this has been such an amazing day. First of all,
Thanks, guys.
this guy, hopefully you guys have seen through this video, he's just insanely busy, but he's given us full access into his life, his home, his work, and so we're really grateful for that. Hopefully we got to tell your story meaningfully, help people understand you. So let's head back to the house we'll give him one last goodbye, and then we'll head back to SF.
All right, everyone, we're back in SF. Huge thank you for Jacob for graciously giving us his time, advice, and helping us extract some key learnings from his story. We're doing these videos super consistently, and we have a lot of really exciting guests planned, so make sure to subscribe.